Hey guys, Mr. Burns here with your video for lesson 8.5, Circumference and Pi. By the end of this video, I want you guys to be able to use the relationship between pi and diameter of a circle to find the circumference. So a circle is a set of all points that are the same distance from a point called the center. A circle is named by or using its center point. The circle below is named Circle A, which is red Circle A. All right, so in the chart here, let's break this down. So starting from the left, working our way to the right. So the very first thing on our vocab is radius. They give you a diagram there in the middle, and then the definition of the radius is the distance from the center of a circle to any point on the circle. Two or more are called radii. The second vocabulary word is chord. Okay, you've got your diagram of a chord there. And a chord is a line segment with endpoints on a circle. The next vocabulary word is diameter. And in the middle you have a diagram of the diameter. And the diameter is the distance across a circle through the center. And the diameter is the longest chord. It is made of two radii. And the last vocabulary word is central angle. You have a diagram there in the middle. And then a central angle is an angle with its vertex at the center of a circle. Circles can be drawn using a stencil, tracing around a circular object, or using a compass. You can also sketch a circle by drawing points on an equal distance from a center point and connecting the points with a smooth curve. A central angle is an angle with its vertex at the center of the circle. It is measured using degrees. Each circle has a total of 360 degrees using its center point. There are two central angles in the circle to the left. So one way you can do it, like it says, so over here off to the right, that's one way to draw it. Okay, you pick yourself a center point, then try to draw yourself a set of points, okay, that are equidistant or equal distance from that center point. Okay, then you've got a compass right here. That's what that is, okay, using a compass. And over here off to the left, okay, this is the one of the central angles is 300 degrees, and the other central angle is 30 degrees. Central angle sum, so in the orange box here, orange, fuchsia, whatever, salmon color probably, the central angle sum, so the sum of the central angles in a circle is equal to 360 degrees. All right, on to the next part. Up there at the top, in example number 1, this says find this measure of the missing central angle. So up here at the top in that example, again, make sure you pause it because we're going to go over a couple of these in the tiered lesson. But it's a good idea for you guys to stop and watch these, look at these examples, okay, and study them a little bit so you understand what's going on. All right, down there at the bottom, or down there in the middle, it says the distance. So the distance around a polygon is called the perimeter. The distance around a circle is called the circumference. There's a special relationship between the circumference of a circle and its diameter. The circumference of a circle is a little bit more than 3 times the length of the diameter. You can wrap 3 diameters along the edge of a circle. There will be a small part of the circle not covered because the circumference is a tad bit larger. So they give you a diagram here of how they calculate pi. And so make sure, again, take a look at that. So the circumference of a circle is a little bit more than 3 diameters, okay, of that same circle. The exact number of times the diameter can be wrapped around the circle is represented by the Greek letter pi. Pi is the ratio of the circumference of a circle to its diameter. The exact value for pi cannot be written as a decimal because it never terminates and it never repeats. Most people round pi to the nearest hundredths place and use the number 3.14. Sometimes the fraction 22/7 is used to estimate pi. So the circumference of a circle, okay, right here, okay, is the distance around a circle is equal to the product of pi and the diameter. So to find the circumference, okay, it's pi times the diameter, or 2 times pi times the radius. All right, on to the next page. Okay, so here in example numbers 3 and numbers 4. Okay, so for example number 2, it says find the circumference of each circle. Okay, and they give you the diameter. So they want you to find the circumference. Okay, in part A using the diameter, and then for part B they give you the radius. So again, they want you to find the circumference. Okay, when they just give you the radius. On example number 3, it's a story problem. Okay, it's an application problem, so make sure you guys read through that and look at the solution, because we're going to be using that here in a minute in the tiered section. Okay, so on this worksheet, it's going to seem kind of long. There's going to be like 18 problems, but it's going to go by pretty quickly. So here we go. So for numbers 1 through 5, it says use circle A to name each of the following. So for number 1, what's the center of the circle? The center of the circle is this. It's A. It says what is the radius? So there's 3 different radii, okay, radii to this circle. So I'm going to erase that for a second. So remember that the radius goes from the center of the circle to any point on the outside. So that's one radius right there. So AC. So that line across the A and the C is actually line segment. So the radius, one of the radii is line segment AC. Another one is AD. Another radii is AB. So there are 3 radii to this circle. Okay. For the diameter, there is only one diameter in this situation, and remember that the diameter goes from one point to an opposite point. Okay, going through the center of the circle. There's my center. So what are 2 points that are opposite? Well, that would be B and D. So the diameter of this circle is diameter BD. Okay. Chords. Remember that a chord, okay, connects any 2 points. Okay, any 2 points on this circle. So if you look at F and E, that line segment connects 2 points on this circle, so that is a chord. So FE. And another special chord goes from one point to the other point, which is B and D. That just so happens to be the diameter, but a diameter is always a chord. So BD is also a chord. So as far as central angles are concerned, there's 3 central angles. So let me go ahead and erase this. So there are 3 central angles in this situation. So an angle is created by 2 points that connect the 2 points on the circle and also connect at the center. So here we go. So one example of a central angle would be BAC. So the way you write this is angle BAC. Another central angle is B, use a different color here, is BAD. So angle BAD. And another central angle is CAD. That's it. That's all you got to do. So for numbers 6 through 9, it says circle the correct answer. So the radius of a circle is 3 centimeters. What is the length of the diameter? So if they give you the radius, which is 3, to find the diameter of that circle, all you have to do is multiply it by 2. So 3 times 2 is 6. So is it A, B, C, or D? It is C. Circle M has a radius of 4.5. The length of the diameter is, well, just like I said in number 6, so the radius is half of a diameter. So if you want to find the diameter, you take the radius, in this case, which is 4.5, you multiply that by 2, and you get 9. On part A, on number 8, it says the diameter is 20 feet. Identify the length of the radius. Well, I'll just go in reverse from what you did for 6 and 7. So if they give you the diameter, 20, and they want you to find the radius, you divide it by 2. And 20 divided by 2 is 10. And for number 9, it says, how many total degrees are there in a circle? There are a total of 360 degrees in a circle, all the time, every time. Okay, numbers 10 and 11. So for numbers 10 and 11, they want you to, 10 and 11, they want you to find that angle, that central angle. So if you know that there is a grand total of 360 degrees in a circle all the time, every time, you take that number, 360, and you subtract, okay, the angles that are given. So we're going to go 360 minus 100 minus 80, not divided by 80. Silly Mr. Burns. Silly. Minus 80 minus 80. And if you go 360 minus 180 minus 180, and I did it again. So if you go 360 minus 100 minus 80, you get a remaining angle of, I think it's 100 degrees. So that last angle is going to be 100 degrees. Okay, for number 11, same thing. So I'm going to go 360, and I'm going to subtract the angles that I know. So I'm going to subtract 150 minus 85 minus 95. Do this on your calculator. So 360 minus 150 minus 85 minus 95, okay, is equal to 30 degrees. That's it. Okay, second page. All right, here we are on the last page, kids. So for number 12, it says, finding the circumference of a circle is like finding the what? Is it A, area of a square, B, volume of a cone, or C, perimeter of a square? It is the C, perimeter of a square. So the circumference is the distance around a circle. Perimeter is the distance around a polygon. All right, let's take a look at this. So here we're going to find the circumference of a circle using these formulas. So circumference can either be found by taking the diameter and multiplying it by pi, which is this one, or you can find the circumference by taking 2 and multiplying it by pi and multiplying it by the radius. All right, number 13 and 14. So it says use the expression that can be used to find the circumference of each circle. Use 3.14 for pi. So 3.14 for pi. So on number 13, what do they give us? Do they give us the radius or do they give us the diameter? They give us the diameter. So remember that to find the circumference of a circle using the diameter, its circumference equals diameter times pi. The diameter is 10. So which one of these, A, B, or C, has a diameter of 10? That would be B. And you're multiplying it times pi, which is 3.14 for pi. So the answer is B. That's all you have to do. For number 14, they give us the radius. So to find to use the formula that we use to find the circumference of a circle when the radius is given, is circumference is equal to 2 times the radius times pi times the radius. So for number 14, we've got 2 times the radius, which is 3.14. So all of them have 2. Doggone it. All of them have 3.14 for pi. Oh, man. And then which one has 9 as the radius? That would be B. So that's the formula that you would use, the expression that you would use, okay, to find the circumference of this circle. Knowing what we know now, let's go ahead and do 15 and 16. On 15 and 16, it says find the circumference of each circle use 3.14 for pi. So if you haven't figured it out by now, hopefully you have, use a calculator. Okay, use a calculator. Here we go, number 15. They give us the diameter, so let's go ahead and choose the right formula. So circumference equals diameter times pi. The diameter in this case is 4, so we're going to multiply that times 3.14. So when I go 4 times 3.14, I get a grand total of 12.56. So since pi is a special number that never repeats, never ends, these are all approximate answers. So we're going to use the squiggly equal sign. So the circumference is approximately equal to 12.56. And since it's the circumference, it's just centimeters. Okay, so that's 15. Number 16, here we go. So since they give us the radius, we're going to use a different formula. So that's going to be circumference is equal to 2 times pi times the radius. So this is going to be 2 times 3.14 times the radius, which is 3. On my calculator, I'm going to go 2 times 3.14 times 3. And that is equal to 18.84. So the answer, so the circumference, is going to be approximately equal to 18 and 84 hundredths feet. And that's it. On number 17, it says a circular track has a diameter of 127 meters. Find the circumference of the track using 3.14 for pi. So let's go and draw ourselves a circular track. Oops. Let's see. And the diameter goes from one point to the other point through the center. So the diameter is equal to 127 meters. To find the circumference, okay, when the diameter is given, I'm going to use a formula. Circumference equals diameter times pi. Let's plug in what we know. So we know that the diameter is 127. We know that pi is 3.14, and that's an approximate. So on our calculator, we're going to go 127 times 3.14. My answer is going to be approximately equal to 398 and 78 hundredths. So 398, 398, and 78 hundredths, and the unit of measurement is meters. And that's it. Okay, let's take a look at number 18. On number 18, it says a circle has a circumference of 37 and 68 hundredths inches. Follow the steps to find its radius. Use 3.14 for pi. So for part A, it says fill in the blanks using the formula circumference equals diameter times pi. So they give us the circumference, which is 37.68. So it's 37.68 is approximately equal to the diameter times pi, which is 3.14. And then it says solve for D by dividing both sides by 3.14. So we're going to divide both sides by 3.14. And the diameter, let's write this down, so the diameter is going to be approximately equal to, see, 37.68 divided by 3.14, and I get 12 inches. Oops. So for part C, it says, what does the answer in part B represent? That's the length of the diameter. So what does it represent? The diameter. So the diameter. And then it says, what is the length of the radius of the circle? So if they give us the diameter, which is 12, to find the radius, I'm going to divide that by 2. So 12 divided by 2 is 6, and it is 6 inches. So that is the radius of my circle. And that's it, you guys. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. If you guys have any questions, you know what to do. Come and find me, and I'll be more than happy to confuse you. So that's all I got. Mr. Burns, outy pouty.